Okay, so our lesson is development and we are discussing about the measures to know or units to know the economic development of a nation. So, Sahana, why have you raised your hand, Marie?
No,
Okay.
yes, Masti.
It's okay, no problem. Okay, so development is our lesson and today we have to discuss about human development indicator or human development index. Okay, so uh, after trying national income and per capita income as the measures to know about economic development, the economists did not get a better answer. That is why they tried to find out a new method to know about the economic development. That is none other than your human development indicator. So yesterday I have told you that the Nobel laureate from India, Amartya Sen, he has made a mention about all these things. Okay, what should be considered or what should be taken to know about economic development? He has made mention about these things. Three things I have told you. One is health. Okay, then second one is your literacy, whether you are literate or not, and third one is whether you have got enough purchasing power, that is your income to get all the basic necessities of life. Then inspired by this book of Amartya Sen, a Pakistani economist, his name Mehboob ul Haq. Okay, what is his name? Mehboob ul Haq. He developed a unique measure to know about economic development, that is none other than Human Development Index. UNDP also adopted the same method. Till today, UNDP, United Nations Developmental Program. What is UNDP? United Nations Developmental Program. So this UNDP also adopted the same method, okay, to know economic development. So let us know in detail about that. So I have told you about these three core capabilities. Mehboob ul Haq had made mention about three core capabilities. One is health. Here health means ability to lead long and healthy life. Okay. So here health is calculated in terms of life expectancy. So health is calculated in terms of life expectancy. Let us know afterwards what is life expectancy. Then comes your literacy. You know literacy. Then third one is purchasing power. Purchasing power is calculated in terms of what? Per capita income. Okay, yesterday we have understood, no, what is per capita income. So these are the three core capabilities. So to lead a decent standard of living, okay, to have a better standard of living, a person should be able to get what? Food. Then he should be able to get proper clothing, then shelter, health facilities, okay. Then next comes your clean environment, pure air, then pure drinking water, then other social securities. So all these come under these three core capabilities. One is health. If you have got food facility, nutritious food as well as health facilities, okay. So first aid and next whatever medicines you need, no. So if you get proper health facility, life expectancy will be more, right? Then next comes your literacy. Okay, if you are literated, then you means when you will be literated, you will be literated only when you get better education. Okay, then comes third one, purchasing power. To get all the other things, you need income, no? So this is purchasing power. Now, how is HDI calculated? That is our next topic. How is HDI calculated? Okay. So now let us know what is HDI. I'll share the page for you. 10. Page 10. Share page.
Where is it?
Wait a minute, children. Okay. So HDI, it is a measure. It is a unit used by UNDP to know about economic development. I have already told about that. And HDI is calculated by the sum of. It is calculated by taking the average of sum of these three core capabilities. I have just mentioned, what are the three core capabilities. So HDI is calculated by taking the average of sum of three core capabilities. Then you will arrive at HDI. Now I'll share the page for you. So you can see here what is HDI. I have written there in detail. So HDI, here the sum of the average of the three core capabilities, which are life expectancy, educational achievement and purchasing power or per capita income, is taken to know the economic development. Okay. So now one by one we will understand what is life expectancy. First of all, life expectancy, how is it calculated? So anybody knows what is life expectancy? Can anybody define life expectancy for me? What is life expectancy? Have you heard about this anywhere? Pannaga is there. Okay.
Mataji, am I audible?
Yeah, Mari.
Mataji, life expectancy is the average age of people of a nation.
Yeah, exactly.
Survival age, lifespan, average lifespan.
Yeah, exactly. You are correct. Okay, average lifespan, right? So, life expectancy is the average age till which the people of a country are expected to live. Okay, so what is life expectancy? It is the average age till which the people of a country are expected to live. So, let us take an example to understand this concept. Okay, so let us suppose that there is a country A, and in that country there are some 5 people. Okay, we will have only 5 people. The population of country A is 5, and this first person, he lives for 40 years. Then this second person, he lives only for 30 years. Then this third person, he lives for 90 years. Okay, he lives for how many years? 90 years. Then this fourth person, he lives for 80 years. But this fifth person, he could live only for 20 years. Okay. Now, how is life expectancy calculated? Pannaga has told you what is life expectancy. Can anybody try? How is life expectancy calculated? Can anybody try to answer me? Okay, let us take the answer from Pannaga. What we have to do, Pannaga, here to get to the life expectancy?
I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, you guess.
We have to take the sum of
Yeah,
all the
you're
years.
correct. You have to take the sum of,
Lifespan of 5 people.
yeah, then,
Sum of and divided by 5. Number
yeah,
of 5.
exactly. You are correct. Shreya Bhatt, Pannaga, thank you. Shreya?
Mataji is same.
Same. Okay, correct. Okay, both of you are right. So what you have to do to calculate life expectancy? First of all, we have to calculate the number of years till which the people of that country lived. Here in that country, only how many people are there? Very fortunately, in that country, there are only 5 people, and these people, they have lived up to these many years. Okay. So, what is the total of this now? 70, 160, then 240, 280 years you got. No? Am I right? Then it will be divided by what? Number of population. So, 5. So, now what will you get, children? Here, 5, 5, then 5, 6. Am I right? Am I right? Yes, if I am right, please raise your hand. If I am right, raise your hand. Yes. Okay. So, life expectancy of a country is how many years, children? It is 56 years. Okay. It is the average age till which the people of a country are expected to live. So, total number of years, okay, for which the people could live divided by ಟೋಟಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಸತ್ತೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಎವ್ರಿ ಇಯರ್ ಅದ್ರ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ದ ಲೈಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿ ಈಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ 56 ಇಯರ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ that nation's health area is not so strong. The people of that nation is not so strong because see here only 2 people have lived for a long span of life. This person died when he was just 40. This person died when he was just 30, and this person could live only for 20 years, right? So that is why the health area of country A is not so good. So this is how life expectancy is calculated. So again, life expectancy means what, children? The average age till which the people of a country are ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಲಿವ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡಂತಹ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಯಾರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲ ಇವ್ರು ಇಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಸತ್ತು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ 1 2 3 4 5 ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಇಲ್ಲಿ 5 ಜನರು ಏನಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಈ 5 ಜನರು ತೀರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ಅಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಏಜ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡೈಡ್ ಅಟ್ ದೀಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಏಜಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನು ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋದು I have not taken the population here. ನಾನಿಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದು ಯಾವ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ I have taken the number of people who have died in that country in a particular year. And I have taken the years, the age till which they could live. Understood? Am I clear now? How life expectancy is calculated? Okay. So this is the first thing. Then comes the second thing. That is your educational achievement. Okay. So, second one is educational achievement. How educational achievement is calculated? Educational achievement. So, how educational achievement of a country is calculated under Human Development Index. So, that we will know how educational achievement is calculated. So, here you can see how educational achievement is calculated. Yes. So, first of all, here 2 things are considered to know educational achievement of a nation. So, first thing is the average period of schooling completed by the people above 25 years old in a particular nation. Okay. So, what is the first thing considered here? The average period of schooling completed by the people above 25 years old in a country. This is the first thing. And second thing is the expected years of schooling that the children above 5 years might get in the future. Okay. So, 5 ವರ್ಷದ ಮೇಲಿನ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇನಿದಾರಲ್ವ ಈಗ ಆ 5 ವರ್ಷದ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ತಮ್ಮ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಬಹುದು ಹೇಳೋದನ್ನ ಅಂದಾಜು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಓಕೆ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದ 5 years old children, the children who are above 5 years old. Children above 5 years old, what education they might get, what years of education, what years of schooling they might get in the future, These two things are calculated. These two things are added and its average is taken to know about what? Educational achievement. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಮಾತಾಜಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಈಗ 25 ವರ್ಷದವ್ರದ್ದು ನಾವೇನು ಸೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಗಣತಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಂಡು ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಪ್ರತಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದು, ಅವ್ರ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಎಷ್ಟೆಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಏನ್ ಗ್ರಾಜುಯೇಷನ್ ಮುಗಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ, SSLC ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ PU ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಅಥವಾ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮೂರನೇತಿಯನ್ನ ಮುಗಿಸಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ 25 ವರ್ಷದ ನಂತರದವ್ರದ್ದು ಎಜುಕೇಶನಲ್ ಅಚೀವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಎವರೇಜ್. ಬಟ್ ಹೌ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವಿ ಡೂ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಥಿಂಗ್? ಹೌ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವಿ ನೋ what is the expected years of schooling to be got by the children of 5 years old in the future? How can we do this? Can anybody guess it? Can anybody make a guess for this? Shri Harsha is there. Yes, Shri Harsha.
Income of that family.
On the basis of income of that family, okay, one thing. Per capita income of the nation, you can take it. Take here again. What else? What else?
Literacy rate of their father.
Okay. Literacy rate of their family members you are saying, no? Okay, so I'll give you the answer. See here, the government is taking many steps now to give education to the children, right? So government, the Constitution of India itself has declared that under Article 21A, education to the children from 6 to 14 years is free and compulsory, right? So it has declared it as the fundamental right of the children, and our government in all the ways, okay, in all the ways, our government is trying to do what? It is trying to give education. Video. Wait a minute. Okay. So our government, with the help of Anganwadi teachers, with the help of primary school teachers, and with the help of high school teachers, ಈಗ ಯಾರೇ ಕೂಡ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಗೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. 1 to 9th standard, everybody, the teacher should see that every child is getting promoted to the next class. ಹೌದಾ? So ಹಂಗೂ ಹಿಂಗೂ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ teachers should see that the child is getting education. So if any child drops out from the school, then that it is the responsibility of that school's teacher and the headmaster to meet that child, to convince it and to convince its family members and bring it back to the school. The government has taken many steps. On the basis of the steps taken by the government and on the basis of the steps taken by the government to implement the rules and regulations which it has made. So on the basis of these two things, you can expect. So you can make a guess, you can make an analysis what number of years or what period of schooling a child above 5 years old may get in its future. This is how what you can find out. You can find out the educational achievement. To find the educational achievement, you have to consider two things. What is that? First one is the average period of schooling the people above 25 years have completed. That should be taken. Second one is the average period of schooling the child above 5 years might get in the future. These two things are considered to calculate what children educational achievement. Then third one is your per capita income. How we have to find out per capita income, that we have understood in our previous period, right? So the average of, okay, so what is HDI now? HDI, it is a unit considered by, or it is a unit developed by UNDP, United Nations Development Program. Okay, it is a unit developed by UNDP to know about economic development of a nation. Then second thing is children. Okay, second thing is it is the average of HDI is the average of sum of 3 core capabilities. First one is your life expectancy, health. then second one is your literacy rate, educational achievement, and third one is your purchasing power, and it is your per capita income. In this way, your human development index is, it can give a clear picture about what the economic development of a nation, because here not only income of the people is considered, right? Here social security, life expectancy ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನೇನ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, life expectancy ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, people should be provided with good food, they should be provided with nutritious food, then they should be provided with better health facilities and education. ಹೌದಾ? So here educational achievement is also considered. Not only income is considered here. That is why HDI is a better measure to know about economic development of a nation. So our next question is, children, so here again you can expect 2 marks question. What is HDI? Just do not write human development index. You have to explain what is that if it is asked for 2 marks. Okay, if it is asked for only 1 mark, then you have to write it is the average of sum of 3 core capabilities, okay, to know the economic development of a nation. That much you have to write. Okay, now our next question is, why the HDI of India is low? Okay, is the HDI of India high according to you? What do you think? Is it high or is it low? HDI of India, is it high or low? Ashwit, are you there, Marie? Ashwit, can you unmute yourself and answer me? Neeraj Mongale. Neeraj Mongale. Tell me, what do you think? Is the HDI of India, is it high or low according to you? High or low? HDI of India. Neeraj? Tell me, Marie. India HDI ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಇರಬಹುದಾ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇರಬಹುದಾ? ಕಮ್ಮಿನೇ ಇರಬಹುದಲ್ವಾ? ಎಂತಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳು, ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶ ಇನ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿದೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅವರ್ ನೇಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಡೆವಲಪಿಂಗ್ ನೇಷನ್. ಹೌದಾ? The per capita income of our nation is less. Okay, then afterwards educational achievement is also less. Even today government has taken so many steps. Even today many of the children are not attending the school, many of the children are not going to the school. So educational achievement is also less. And first one, life expectancy, it is just 68.5 years. ಬರೀ 68.5 ವರ್ಷ ಉಂಟು. So that is why the HDI of India is less. So India in the year 2014, according to the survey made in the year 2014, among 187 countries, India was there in 135th place. See here, out of 187 countries, India was there in which place? 135th place, and India's HDI at that time was 0.586. Okay, 0 to 1 anta consider ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 0.586 was the HDI of India in the year 2014, and India was there in the in which rank 135th place. Okay, so thus we can come to the decision that India's life expectancy, India's purchasing power, and India's your educational achievement is less. That is why HDI of India is also less. Okay, so I'll share the page for you just to go through it. Which one? Yes. Okay, see here. Why the HDI of India is less is our question. Causes for low HDI in India. Okay, so first of all, here I have told, okay, what is the place, in what rank India is there in the list of the world. 187 countries, out of 187 countries, India is there in 135th place. And then the life expectancy of India is very low. It is 68.5 years. It is because Indian people are not getting nutritious food, and Indian people are not getting proper health facilities. Basic health facilities are also not available for many of the Indians. Okay. Then next comes educational achievement of India is just 4.4 years. See, if we take the average years of schooling anna tagondaga, it is just 4.4 years. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಆದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಹಾಕಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 5 years ಅಬೌವ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಹಾಕಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಕೂಡ only Indians, the educational achievement of India, we could arrive at how many years? Just 4.4 years of education. That is very low. Okay. Then next comes your per capita income. So per capita income of India is 3,203. Okay, only that much. Okay, so that is why 3,203 rupees is the per capita income of Indians. So it is also very less, right? So $3,203 it is, not rupees. So it is for a year. It is for a year. That is why purchasing power or per capita income of Indians is also very less. Okay, page 2. See there, I have written. Okay, then go through it once. Okay, then comes the next topic, that is gender related matters or gender related issues. So what is the position of gender related matters in India? So you all know that in India gender inequality is there. Okay, so the women are considered as the second partners in economic development. Government has taken many steps. So while studying political science first lesson, you have learnt about the steps taken by Indian government to improve the status of women. Even though government has taken so many steps, till today the inequality is continuing, and the women are considered as the second partners of economic development. Okay, so now how can we say that? What is the proof for in India this gender inequality is practiced? Is there any proof? With statistics we can prove, no, in India gender inequality is practiced till today. How can we say that? On the basis of what we can come to this decision? Can anybody go for the answer? Okay, Soumya Hegde.
Surveys conducted on educational development.
Surveys conducted on educational development. In what terms you can find it, Marie? What is that called? What is found out?
Mataji, I don't know the name, but
That is correct. Your
according
answer
to
is
some
right.
statistics.
Yes, you are right, Marie, but I wanted that particular word. Let me see whether Rashmi is able to answer. Soumya, thank you. Rashmi?
Low literacy rate of women.
Yeah, literacy rate. Okay. So if we take literacy rate, the literacy rate of women is less, very less. Okay. So the literacy rate of men, it is 82% above, 82.14, something like that. Then the literacy rate of women is something 65.46. See the difference here. Literacy rate of women in India is 65.46%, whereas the literacy rate of men in India is 82.14%. That means that there is women inequality, gender discrimination is practiced in India. This is one proof. Can you give another proof for me? This is perfect answer. What is the other proof for practice, or what is the other proof for existence of gender discrimination in our country? Think and answer. Only Soumya Hegde and Rashmi Pai? Okay, now we will take answer from Sriharsha.
Society's thinking
Society's
and
Society's
according to National Health Survey for 2000
National Health Survey of India, yes. Your body mass index is also less, no? Then what else is the other proof? Have you anywhere heard about sex ratio or gender ratio? Have you anywhere heard about sex ratio or gender ratio? Anybody? 9ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಈ ಶಬ್ದ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಾ ಅಥವಾ ಕೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ರಾ? ಕೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ಟುಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ? ಓಕೆ. Rashmi, what is gender ratio or sex ratio?
A number of females per 1,000 men.
Exactly. Number of women per 1,000 men. What is the sex ratio in India? Anybody knows? As of now, what is the sex ratio in India? For 1,000 men, how many women are there in India? It is just children 945. Okay. So for 1,000 men, only 945 women are there. See, it is also the best proof for saying that in India, gender discrimination is practiced. Okay, gender discrimination is existing in the Indian society. Okay, so literacy rate as well as what children, your gender ratio or sex ratio give us the clear picture about gender discrimination. Okay, then next comes first of all let me share the page for you. For gender ratio and literacy rate, it is 2011 statistics. Then other examples are women, they are mainly working in agriculture, primary sector. They are working in primary sector mainly and unorganized sector also. So job participation ratio is also less compared to men. Job participation ratio on the part of women is also less. Then if we take into consideration the women who are working in high positions, their number is also less. Even though government has given 33% reservation in the bodies of in the local body election, no, women cannot attend all the meetings. They cannot attend all the sessions of your Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha and all. Okay, they'll be many of the women will be busy in their domestic chorus, especially the representatives, women representatives in panchayat bodies, no, they will, means your local bodies, they cannot attend all the meetings because they will be busy in their domestic work. So all these things say that in India, women discrimination, gender discrimination is there. So within 3 minutes, the meeting will end. You join with a new link. Okay. Same link. You join the meeting with the same link. Let us end the meeting here and we'll rejoin.